OCO. OCO, if you can make your way to your seat, we'll get started in just a moment. CO. Okay, 4 of you in the front row, ready to go. Let's try that again. CO. Osta. Welcome to the 2025-2026 Junior Miss and Miss Cherokee competition. Let's give each of the ladies a big round of applause. My name is Todd Enlow, and I'm your MC for this evening, and it's an honor to welcome you here this evening. And we'll hear from some exceptional ladies that are talented women throughout the evening in a variety of capacities. To begin our program, please rise for the national anthem that will be performed by the Cherokee National Youth Choir under the direction of Miss Mary Kay Henderson and Candace Bird Boney, and please remain standing for the invocation provided by the Deputy Principal Chief, Mr. Brian Warner.
All right, bow with me, please. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we just thank you for this day, Lord, and this time of fellowship, Lord. Lord, as we come together, there's a competition today, but yet we have learned from these ladies that they continue to set themselves aside to raise one another up. Let our eyes of our heart open up, let the ears of our heart open up and learn something from these ladies, Lord. As you continue to put a hedge of protection around their lives, Lord, we just ask that you bless their families, bless their neighbors, Lord, and bless each and every one of us. Thank you for bringing these ladies together tonight. Lord, we know that it is so important that we remember the spirit of Gadugi working together, and you will see it here tonight, Lord, and that we know that comes from you. Lord, I just ask that you continue to fill our vessels with the fruit of your Spirit, Lord. And Lord, tonight, give us an extra measure of joy as we have come together here to fellowship and to watch these ladies exhibit their skills and their talent, Lord. Lord, we just ask that you let them be extra diligent with their talent tonight so that we can see it and give it praise unto you, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Please be seated. So, Cherokee, and you probably hear him say this, I have a saying that says we want to hold one another's existence sacred. And if I would have just let the script flow, I would have just let the deputy chief speak. But I want to hold his existence a little bit sacred and be a little bit stingy. And I want to introduce you to the deputy chief. I want to introduce him to you because He's a mentor and a friend, not only to me, but hundreds, if not thousands, of Cherokee employees that go around the globe. He's also a mentor and a friend to tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of Cherokee citizens around the globe. And so I do honestly consider him to be a friend and a comrade and a guy that we fought together during COVID-19 and trying to make everybody safe. And so it is my honor and my privilege and my stingy.
In a competition that we hold sacred as a tribe, but yet they're not in competition with one another. They are here lifting one another up, and that is the spirit of Gadugi. That is what embodies this national holiday that's coming up. This really kicks off our holiday season for so many. There's so many different things that we do, and I'm so thankful for the parents, the grandparents, the aunts, the uncles, the cousins, the neighbors, the relatives, blood or not blood, that have put their time and their dedication into these individuals. Thank you to all of our little ambassador contestants and our winners. I can't wait to be able to get out on the road, out on our communities with you, because you help me each and every day remember why we do what we do. We are here to protect our most vulnerable. A lot of times we know that is our elders and that is our children, and that is our guiding principles, coming together, clinging together, reaching out when a problem exists. We band together. We do not separate. We continue to work together. I want to thank my friend, a mentor, and my principal chief, Mr. Chuck Hoskins Jr., for setting a vision and a course that will put us exactly where our ancestors needed us to be, living for one another, making sure that we remember those things that are important, making sure that God's word flows freely amongst all the Cherokee people, because that is where that spirit of Gadugi comes from. It's more than just working together. It's tethering us together by the word of our Creator. And He helps us to be diligent. Sometimes our talent, we may not recognize it, but if you'll listen and look to others, they recognize it. It's that ability to listen. It's that ability to not speak, but truly listen to what's going on with an individual and making sure that we can be there in a time of need and in a time of praise. So folks, this afternoon, let's watch these young ladies, these junior Miss contestants and these Miss Cherokee contestants. And no doubt, they learned some of these things from the two ladies, Miss Ella and Miss Daisy, that are holding those crowns now. And I know without a doubt, after the reception and spending a few days with these young ladies, that they're any of them are going to be fine in this position. Thank you to all the former junior Misses and Miss Cherokees that are able to be here and pledge their support. You don't realize that once you get this crown, you're pledging your support to something that is bigger than you. So folks, let's band together tonight. Let's set aside our differences. Let's set aside the things that would entangle us and snare us in anger. And let's all love one another. What don't? Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the Deputy Principal Chief of the Cherokee Nation, Mr. Brian Warner. So I'm going to be a little bit stingy with the next one, and that's the Principal Chief. And so I got to work with him when he was on the council, and then he was elevated to Speaker of the Council, and then he became Secretary of State, and then ultimately became the Chief of the Cherokee Nation. And we worked together on many things, sometimes closely and sometimes at a distance. And I marvel at his dedication and work. And while he may work on the big things and argue for tribal sovereignty on a national and international law, he may go toe-to-toe with the governor asserting Cherokee rights across the Cherokee Reservation. But at the same time, and I'm not kidding, I can send he and Deputy a spreadsheet at 10 o'clock in the morning and said, here's an update on all of our housing construction projects. And 5 minutes later, I will get an email back from him, and somehow or another, he knows this. He says, can you check line 83? I don't think that's right. So he takes care of the big stuff and the little stuff, and he manages to keep track of all of it. And I am absolutely amazed by his abilities. And it is my honor to introduce you to my friend and the Principal Chief of the Cherokee Nation. Please put a warm round of applause together for the Principal Chief, Mr. Chuck Hoskin, Jr.
What-o, Todd. What-o. It's an honor and a privilege to address you and to share the stage with the Deputy Chief. As you can tell as I'm struggling with this microphone, they're tall gentlemen. And our Senior Advisor, Todd Enlow. Two fine public servants, but for us and for members of the council and members of my cabinet and for all the ladies and gentlemen here, the real joy we will feel tonight is watching the participants on this stage. This is a singular event in the Cherokee Nation. It is, as the Deputy Chief mentioned, part of the beginning of the Cherokee National Holiday season. But it's unique in that the participants, before they take this stage, they've already proven something, and they've already done something to lift up their nation. They've already done it. Every one of the participants, they did it because they're young Cherokees who decided to challenge themselves. And not just challenge themselves, but to challenge themselves in a particular way, to explore deeply who they are, where they come from, who their people are, what their history is, and what it tells us about who we are and who we can be. They've explored their language and their culture. They challenged themselves to address people publicly even before they got on this stage. All of those efforts are worthy of our admiration. That means every one of the participants have reached a milestone that we can all applaud tonight, that we can all be proud of, that we can all take some measure of joy in just knowing that they've done it. These young ladies could have done a lot with their time. They chose to do this. They chose to do something where the focus will be on them, where they will be tested in this setting before this audience. They'll be testing themselves along the way. That's something that I admire a great deal. It says something about what drives these young ladies, just the fact that they decided to enter this program. It's a leadership program, and they're all leaders for having dared to sign up. And of course, every one of them who signed up didn't do it alone. They did it with the support of their family. So many people in the audience this evening and many people watching are the family members of these participants. And I know that you take a lot of joy in seeing your daughter or your niece or your granddaughter or cousin up here on this stage. I can tell you, having been the father of a little girl who participated in the ambassador competition years ago. She's not a little girl anymore, our daughter Jazzy, that you're more nervous than they are. I promise you that. And they probably are feeling some nerves, but I know that you are too, because you've seen what they have done to get where they are, and you're sort of living the moment with them. I get that. But all of it is in the service of one really important thing, which is strengthening the Cherokee Nation. While we can spend the time and the energy to do all the things we have to do in life, we're choosing to celebrate young ladies who are strengthening the Cherokee Nation. The ones who are crowned tonight, of course, will have this extraordinary opportunity over the course of the next year to go even further, to be ambassadors for the Cherokee Nation, near and far. And I've seen it. I've seen what Junior Miss and Miss, the ones that will be retiring their crowns this evening, and those that came before them, I've seen many of them capture the attention of audiences within this reservation and around the country. I've seen them capture the imagination of a great many people, particularly young people who look up to these wonderful young ladies as they talk about who they are, talk about their journey, and talk about the Cherokee story. They can do things in terms of reaching people that's more powerful than any chief ever could. I assure you of that. We are a nation that our oral traditions teach us is as old as time, from time immemorial. But we're a young nation. We're a young nation in spirit. We're a young nation in terms of our energy, the urgency that we all feel to go further, to do more, and to look around the world and say, there is nothing that the Cherokee people can't do, and there's no barrier that will get in the way of the Cherokee nation, a government of the people and by the people. We feel that way, and we reflect it in our young people. Right now, thousands and thousands of young Cherokees are doing extraordinary things. Many of them, for example, graduated high school last May. Many of them now are going into college or into a career training program. Many of them are serving on our youth council. Many of them are volunteers in that wonderful new program called Gadugi Corps, which really captures the idea that the volunteer spirit is throughout the Cherokee Nation, particularly in our young people. We've got young people all over this reservation and all over this country who are Cherokee, and they're proud to be Cherokee, and they want to live a life as a Cherokee, and they want to do something to move their nation forward. But you won't find finer examples of that, and you'll find that these young ladies represent a whole generation that gives us all a great deal of hope, a great deal of optimism, and it reminds us that this is a young and energetic nation. So let's lift them up tonight, and let's do it before a vote is cast. All of them deserve our praise and our thanks. Wado.
And ladies and gentlemen, that once again is the Principal Chief of the Cherokee Nation, Mr. Chuck Hoskin Jr. Let's give him another round of applause. So I'm going to start with introductions. Sorry, Chief. I'm going to introduce you again to the Principal Chief of the Cherokee Nation, Mr. Chuck Hoskin Jr. The Deputy Principal Chief of the Cherokee Nation, Mr. Brian Warner. And his wife / boss / TV star, Miss Mako Warner. We're also joined by the Acting Marshal of the Cherokee Nation, Mr. Daniel Meade. This fella's from Adair County. We were introducing a project I'm sorry, I really love to tell this story. We're introducing a project to a community, and Kanan turned to the community member and said, "What do you think about this?" And it kind of struck them off guard, and they said, "Well, I guess it's pretty all right." That's high praise in Adair County. Let's give some high praise to that pretty all right guy, the Deputy Secretary of State, Mr. Kanan Duncan. This next one's a long title. He may hold the record in the Cherokee Nation. He is the former Principal Chief, former Speaker of the Council, and current Cherokee Nation Special Envoy for International Affairs and Language Preservation, Mr. Joe Byrd. We're joined by some council members as well from District 1, Sasha Black Fox Qualls, right here in Cherokee County. Her cohort in Cherokee County and my classmate, although she looks quite younger than I do, from District 3, Miss Lisa Hall. Newly inaugurated or re-inaugurated from District 7, Joshua Sam. And his twin brother / running partner from District 8, Cody Poindexter. And this gentleman was also sworn in just this week from District 15, serving his second term, Mr. Danny Callison. Sorry, I should have referred to him as Coach Danny Callison. All right, we have some Cherokee Nation royalty, and these two young ladies you're going to get to see later, but I want to take a special moment to say how incredibly blessed and impressed I have been with both of these young ladies and have gotten to know them over the last year. And there's a box of tissue over here just for me. None of the rest of you get this later on. But please put your hands together for Miss Cherokee 2024-2025, Miss Ella Mounts. And hailing from the same great community of Cherry Tree, she is Junior Miss Cherokee, Miss Daisy Starr. We have some recently crowned Little Cherokee ambassadors that represent 2025 through 2026. Ages 4 to 6, Miley Gideon. Four to 6, Harper Lowe. From 7 to 9, we have Kenneth Faye Bryson. Also representing age 7 and 9, Guthrie Rogers. Ages 10 to 12, Caney? Not yet. You're ready for this, aren't you? This is the first official introduction. You guys ready? Caney Lou Duncan. And I'm going to put a T in this one. 10 to 12-year-olds, Ryan Altaffer. He didn't want any recognition, but he's also a classmate. I used to ride the bus with him. His name is Cliff Hall, and he is a District 3 County Commissioner for Cherokee County. Right here on the front row. We have some visiting royalty with us, and I apologize if I butcher any of these names. Ahalosi Deer, Miss Muskogee Creek Nation. Miss Mia Powell, Junior Miss Muskogee Creek Nation. Annalise Martinez, Junior Miss Seminole Nation of Oklahoma. Ava Davenport, Little Miss Choctaw Nation. And Darian Eubanks, Junior Miss Choctaw Nation. We have some former misses. You're going to get to hear from one of them in a little bit, actually a couple of them in a little bit. Please put your hands together for Miss Feather Smith, who is also a judge this evening. She was Miss Cherokee from 2007 to 2008. Shelby Turtle, who is behind the curtain, is Miss Cherokee for 2014 to 2015. Julie Daughtery, 2012 to 2013. LaShawna Pickering, 2000 to 2001. Lauren Fields, 2016 to 2017. She was a Y2K Miss Cherokee, Miss Raven Van from 1999 to 2000. Addison Rouse, 2023 through 2024. And Miss Jolynn Choate, Miss Carey, from 1989 to 1990. Please put your hands together for each of those. And I think I said Miss Cherokee, but I think that was former junior Miss Cherokees. So let's jump into Miss Cherokee. First, Keely Sanders, Miss Cherokee 2023 to 2024. Feather Smith, you've heard that name, right? 2008 to 2009. Shelby Turtle from 2021 to 2022. Julie Daughtery, 2013 to 2014. Lauren Fields, 2022 to 2023. LaShawna Pickering, 2005 to 2006. Jalisi Glad, 2015 to 2016. Raven Van from 2003 to 2004. Lisa Trice Turtle, 1986 to 1987. Kristen Thomas, 2002 to 2003. Julie Deerenwater, 1995 to 1996. And last but not least, you're going to get to hear from her several times tonight, Miss Mary Kay Henderson, 1980 to 1982. All right, now that I'm winded, I have some things to say. First off, we're going to have a good time tonight, right? Okay, 4 of you. So there's a theme that's going to run through tonight, and I'm going to try to stress it to you each and every time it happens. But how many people know what Tahlequah means in Cherokee? The name Tahlequah is Cherokee for what? Speakers? 2 is enough. 2 is enough. So tonight, the theme is 2. It's going to be recurring and repeating, and I'm going to try to point that out. So you guys, it's going to be kind of like Paul Harvey, the rest of the story. I want you guys to listen for the rest of the story on 2 is enough. The other thing I want to make sure we do is introduce 2 special groups of people. One are our veterans that fought either actively, currently, or veterans of military service. If you're a veteran, could you stand so we could recognize you and thank you for your service? And I know that we have some speakers in the house. One of them is one of your judges, and I'll tell you a little bit more about her. But if we have any Cherokee first language speakers in the house, can you please stand so we can recognize and celebrate you? All right, you guys ready to get started? All right, let's start with Junior Miss Cherokee. I'm going to introduce your contestants to you. Contestant number 1 is Olivia Daughtery.
Sianiga gali eliga geto ahani kohi. Gateya Gowa Sanho. Yonegi gut Olivia Daughtery. Dawadon. Shkigadu yawadetiad. Uhalan awatasa. Dali kuchineo no. Diga giga yalege taladu ale diasola. Nuk no geo jatlanasla. Tal ani church. Tal osti ostige huge. Wado. Hello everyone, my name is Olivia Daughtery, but everyone calls me Gatea. I'm 15 years old. I grew up in the Bell community, but I now live in Tahlequah. My parents are Colleen and Steve Doherty. There are 4 of us kids, 2 boys and 2 of us girls. I enjoy making jewelry, I love to paint, and I am learning sign language. Wado.
Wado, Olivia. Contestant number 2 is Kylie Pritchett.
Sioniga, Galieliga, Jijitlu, Galieliga, Jigedon, Sikujets, Dawadon, Skikidu Yawadetiad, Nyodo, Ginel, Sequoia, Dundelaquasco. Hello everyone, I am so thankful everyone is here. I am thankful I am here. My name is Kylie Pritchett, I am 15 years old. I live in Rocky Mountain and I currently attend Sequoia High School. Wado.
Wado, Kylie. Contestant number 3 is Jordan Rodwell.
Sianaga Nado Dawado, Jijalagi di Ale Anigalohi, Skigidu Yabadetied, Delikwa Degega. Hello everyone, my name is Jordan Rodwell. I am Cherokee. I am part of the Long Hair Clan. I'm 15 years old and I'm from Tahlequah. I am currently attending Sequoia High School where I am in speech and debate, drama, cheerleading, and Hope Club. And outside of school, I do soccer. Thank you all for being here tonight. Wado.
Wado, Jordan. And contestant number 4 is Reese Henson.
Oceanigar, Kwana Dawadon, Skigadu Yawadetian, Tahlequah Jineo, Sequoia Degadeth Guasco, Sadusine Dejinido. Hello everyone, my name is Reese Henson. I'm 15 years old. I'm the daughter of Julie Hubbard. I live in Tahlequah, Oklahoma. I go to Sequoia High School. I'm a junior. I play volleyball and I do cheer. Thank you. Wado.
Wado, Reese. Ladies and gentlemen, please put another round of applause together for your Junior Miss Cherokee contestants. Well done, ladies. Well done. Now, are you ready to meet the Miss Cherokee contestants? Yes. All right. Contestant number 1 is JC Gideon.
Oceanagad, JC Gideon Dawado, Stillywell Janelle and all Awatessa, Soneladu Yawadetiad, University of Oklahoma Diga Delthqua, Jalagi Agiwanihis Diga Delthqua, Diga Giga Yelage, Kristen, Randy, Dundo, Digalisi, Jack, Diana Fourkiller Dundo, Sudal, No Jaji, Ajathlanathla, Dina Tusk, Digilawig, Jalagi Ayetli. Hello everyone, my name is JC Gideon. I'm 19 years old and I'm from Stillwell, Oklahoma. My parents are Kristen and Randy and my grandparents are Jack and Diana Fourkiller. I currently attend the University of Oklahoma where I'm majoring in political science with the intent in working in tribal government upon graduation. At the University of Oklahoma, I'm currently studying the Cherokee language. For the past 3 years, I've had the opportunity to serve the Cherokee Nation on the Cherokee Nation Tribal Youth Council, where for the past year, I've served as president. Thank you all. Wadon.
Wadon, JC. Contestant number 2 is Callie Doublehead.
Sionigad, Kihogi Dawadoa, Sam Doublehead, and Alicia Wolf, Agidoda Ale Agichi, Neladu, Nyawadetian, Taliko Janelle, RSU, Degadequasti, Juntanidi, Alanis, Dagalenahi, Utan Jundelaquasti, Jalagi, Ninogiski, Sudetiad, Ulo Susti, Gela, Nigadusana, Unanelotana Gela, Galialig, Jigoedi, Agayuj Jalagi. Hello everyone, my name is Callie Doublehead. I'm the 18-year-old daughter of Sam Doublehead and Alicia Wolf. I live in Tahlequah and I'm a freshman at Rogers State University where I'm majoring in sociology. The past year I was a member of the Cherokee Youth Choir and a 14 Jones student, and I'm happy to be in the Miss Cherokee competition. Wanta.
Well done, Callie. Contestant number 3 is Leah Gardner.
Sionagad Galili Ganchijedo, Ligwegi Dawadon, Neladu Yawade Tian, Forest Ale Iwi Digi Gayanlagan, Kinwood Awatansa Aseno Talaquajanel, NSU Dagalena Degadel Kwaskan. Hi everyone, I'm so happy that you're here. My name is Leah Gardner. My Cherokee name is Lee Gweg. I'm 18 years old. I'm the daughter of Forrest and Iwi Gardner. I'm a former Little Cherokee ambassador, a former Junior Miss Cherokee, and a former 14th Gen student. I'm a member of Uwasa Baptist Church. I was raised in Kenwood, Oklahoma, but I'm currently living in Tahlequah, where I'm starting my first year at Northeastern State University. Thank you, and Wado.
Well done, Leah. Contestant number 4 is Hannah Nugent.
Osionagad, Hananujin Dawadon, Galili Jagadon, Tatsko Iadetian, Anagilohi, Digionwi. Junio Husa, Nigiwa, Nigida, Sequoia Divadet Guaha, NSU Digidelo Kwaski. Agiji Lib Nugent Dudo, Agidon Lawson Dudo, Elisi Edu Glinda and Bobby Nugent Dundo. Tatli Iagayanli, Tatsko Nug, Judetian Sadisa, Idanadi Diskiesti, Digiji Lastana, Jano Seho, Tatli Digagwati Gakilan Diski. Dean Tusk, Digi Lawi, Jalagi Ayetli. Wadon. Hello everyone, I am very happy to be here today. My name is Hannah Nugent and I am 20 years old. I'm a part of the Long Hair Clan and I grew up in Lost City, Oklahoma. My mother is Libby Nugent, my brother is Lawson, and my grandparents are Glinda and Bobby Nugent. In 2023, I graduated from Sequoia High School as co-salutatorian and a Gates Scholar. I am currently attending Northeastern State University. I am majoring in information systems with minors in both computer science and music. In 2024, I was proud to be a Remember the Removal bike rider. I am now currently serving on the Cherokee Nation Tribal Youth Council as their secretary. Wadon.
Well done, Hannah. Audience, please put another warm round of applause together for the entire group of contestants for Miss Cherokee. Well done, ladies. So the role of both Miss Cherokee and Junior Miss Cherokee is to represent the Cherokee Nation as a goodwill ambassador and serve as messenger to promote the government, history, language, and culture of the Cherokee people. As an ambassador and messenger to the Cherokee people, the representative is a role model and is expected to exemplify the best qualities of Cherokee youth. Simply put, they represent the best of us. Now for our platform presentations. The contestants have selected a platform or issue of importance that she will spend the year advocating if selected as a title holder. I want each of you to listen closely, 1 to the titles and 2 to the description of what their platform represents. Each of them is very impressive. So contestant number 1 is Olivia Daughtery. Her platform is supporting Cherokee immersion students as they transition into high school.
Sione God, my name is Olivia Gatea Darty, and I am proud to share my platform supporting Cherokee immersion students as they transition into high school. I grew up in the Cherokee Immersion Charter School. For many of us, it's more than just a school, it's a home. We were immersed in our language and culture from the time we were babies. When immersion students move on to high school, they are often separated from the classmates and language they've known their whole life. And slowly, the language, the community, and the culture begins to fade. I've been through it, and let me tell you, that transition is hard. It can feel like everything you've learned suddenly doesn't matter anymore. But I know we can do more to help students stay connected to Jalek, even when the environment changes. My mom once told me, without our youth, our language is not safe. That truth has stayed in my heart ever since. This is why my platform is about both awareness and action. First, I want to raise awareness about the culture shock that immersion students face. Programs like 14 Gen are helping, and I believe we can build on that by creating student-led spaces, mentorship programs, and cultural activities to help us stay in the language. Second, I want to encourage students to use creativity, whether through stories, dancing, singing, or stickball, or even painting, to stay connected to who they are. These outlets help us stay grounded when we feel out of place. If I am chosen as your junior Miss Cherokee, I will continue supporting immersion students and begin visiting classrooms to remind them you are not alone. Your identity, your creativity, your voice, it all matters. I want immersion students and families to understand that this transition can be hard. But with support and community, we can carry our language and culture with us anywhere we go. My dad always reminds me, "Hesh dijatayosan, hesh dijakelsan, iyuhen ni dijatayosan, slasla yuwat liluka." Don't give up. Don't forget it. If you give up, it won't go anywhere. My platform is about more than just language. It's about protecting what we've been given and passing it on with love and support to the next generation. Wado.
Wadon, Olivia. Contestant number 2 is Kylie Pritchett, and her platform is Community Wellness.
Sioni God, Sikujet Stawadon. I am thankful to be sharing my platform on community wellness with everyone. Community wellness is a foundation of a healthy, vibrant, and thriving society. It is more than just the absence of illness. It is the presence of opportunities for individuals and families to live physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and socially healthy lives. Our vision for community wellness is one where everyone, regardless of their background, income, or zip code, has equal access to the resources, support systems, and environments that allow them to flourish. Wellness begins with access. That means ensuring all community members have affordable access to quality health care, nutritious food, and clean water, safe housing, and mental health services. Too many people today face barriers that prevent them from accessing the care and support our people need. Barriers that often stem from systemic inequality, poverty, lack of transportation, and underfunded local programs. We are committed to breaking down these barriers through policies that prioritize investment in public health infrastructure and equitable resource distribution. The Cherokee Nation and many other indigenous people emphasize the balance between mind, body, and spirit as key to health. Stickball has historically been used to settle disputes, bring people together, and promote unity and wellness among tribes. Today, reviving and honoring such traditions help preserve identity, encourage intergenerational connection, and promote physical activity in a culturally meaningful way. I believe community wellness efforts must include and uplift our people. Ceremonial practices and leadership. Indigenous knowledge systems have long recognized the importance of living in harmony with nature, maintaining strong family ties, and using storytelling, ceremony, and communal rituals as healing tools. Supporting Native wellness means supporting language revitalization, culture revitalization, land sovereignty, and the strengthening of tribal health systems. When we make space for traditional healing alongside modern medicine, we create a more inclusive and effective model of care. In conclusion, community wellness is a shared mission. It requires partnership between local governments, tribal nations, schools, businesses, health organizations, and most importantly, the people themselves. It calls for investment, compassion, collaboration, and respect for culture knowledge. Every decision we make should ask, does this improve the well-being of our people? We advise a future where every Cherokee has the tools and opportunities to live a full, healthy, and meaningful life. Let us learn from one another, honor the knowledge our ancestors handed down to us, and build wellness together. Wado.
Wadon, Kylie. Contestant number 3 is Jordan Rodwell, and her platform is Skin Conditions in Native American Communities.
Did you know that 94.5% of Native Americans deal with a skin condition? These skin conditions include eczema, melanoma, skin infections, diabetic skin complications, psoriasis, acne and scarring, etc. A study in Dermatology Times found that Native Americans and indigenous communities deal with a high prevalence of skin conditions because the lack of dermatologic health care around reservations and small towns. Accessing medical care in itself can be hard for many elders who can't move around on their own, especially in rural areas, like many areas on the Cherokee Reservation. Growing up, I have and still deal with bad eczema and breakouts because skin conditions are not something you really grow out of. Eczema, also known as atopic dermatitis, is one of many chronic skin conditions that can make your skin feel dry, itchy, scaly, cracked, sensitive, and swell, depending on how bad someone may have it. It can be caused by genetics, a bad immune system, environmental triggers such as allergens and irritants, weakened skin barriers, and stress. Skin conditions of all types can affect anyone of any age, even from the moment they are born. When I was younger, my parents would put me in mittens and make me take oatmeal baths to stop me from scratching or picking at my skin, which are good temporary fixes but don't last for a long period of time and doesn't fix pre-existing eczema spots. To find permanent fixes, my parents have looked for dermatologists as far as Oklahoma City and Tulsa. But driving multiple hours for a consultation and many more appointments just isn't exactly ideal. According to research by Dermatology Times, the nearest dermatology clinic for predominantly American Indian communities was 68 miles away. Of 303 tribal facilities and Indian health services in the U.S., only 27 had access to a teledermatology program. In the Cherokee Nation, we are constantly searching for people in the medical field, and most of the time we send patients to Tulsa hospitals. Here in Tahlequah, there's not a skin specialist to help people of all ages and ethnicities feel comfortable in their skin, because along with pain and itchiness, it can also be emotionally draining. Having a skin condition of any type can make someone feel embarrassed to leave the house without covering up. It causes stress and depression, which causes spots to flare up and lead to even more breakouts. It can make someone's self-esteem drop just because they don't want anyone staring at them, which causes distancing from all others, all because of something treatable. And eventually, if feelings persist, can lead to suicide, in which there is a statistic that says American Indians have the highest rate for suicide, especially in indigenous teens. But things like this can affect anyone of any age. This is why I strive to become a healthcare specialist within the Cherokee Nation and encourage others to do the same. I strive to be one of the first accessible dermatologists for people of all ages all over the Cherokee Reservation, and I strive to make others feel more confident about themselves and in their skin. Widow.
Well done, Jordan. Contestant number 4 is Reese Henson, and her platform is raising awareness on the Indian boarding school impact on the Cherokee language.
CO, I chose my platform as raising awareness on the Indian boarding school impact on the Cherokee language. I was enrolled in the Cherokee Immersion School since I was 3 years old to learn Cherokee. The language in my family was not carried on from my great-grandmother because she was sent to the boarding school and forced to not speak. Boarding schools were founded to keep Native children from practicing their Native traditions and teach them to assimilate into European culture. Indian children were forced out of their homes and taken from their family by government agents, sent to boarding schools, beaten, starved, or abused when they spoke their native language. By 1925, over 60,000 Native children attended boarding schools all over the U.S. Most of the kids were forced to cut their long hair, couldn't wear their traditional clothing, often their names would be replaced with English names. My great-grandmother was sent to the Sequoia Orphanage when it was ran by the government in the 1930s. Until me, no one in my family could speak. Hundreds of Native languages were affected and even lost during this time period. Growing up at immersion, our teachers would tell us that our language was at risk, and we would lose the language if we didn't continue to speak, read, or write it. Over the years, more and more opportunities to save the language have been put into effect, such as a Cherokee Immersion Language School. There is also a Cherokee Language Master Apprentice program for adults to learn. These programs are very helpful to the language as they continue. A lot of families, including mine, have gone through language loss in their families due to boarding schools. Some ways to overcome this problem is to provide more language learning opportunities. What I think would really help the younger generation is if all schools within our reservation had more education and classes on how boarding schools hurt our learning our language. Besides immersion, other students don't know a lot about the language if they don't have a speaker at home. They wouldn't know that the language is at risk. There could also be more language exposure to adults. Orange Day is observed on September 30th to remember all of the kids who were separated from their families. I personally don't think there is enough awareness brought to this day. Without it, we will continue to forget about what those children were put through because of who they were. To help bring awareness to this day, it should be talked about through school programs and social media. I remember a time in the 2nd grade, my great-grandma dropped me off at immersion and walked me inside to say hello to my teacher. She was nothing but smiling the entire time, and that memory will always be kept with me. I'm very glad I was encouraged my whole life to speak Cherokee. I chose raising awareness to the language as my platform because of how the boarding school history affected families like mine from carrying on the language. It is important we know that the language is at risk and encourage the next generations to fill this gap. Wado.
Well done, Reese. So I told you to pay close attention. So I'm just going to read back those titles to you. Supporting Cherokee Immersion Students as they transition into high school, Community Wellness, Skin Conditions in Native American Communities, and Raising Awareness on the Indian Boarding School Impact on the Cherokee Language. Please give another round of applause to the Junior Miss Cherokee contestants. So now let's move to the 2005, now I can't talk. Now let's move into the 2025-2026 Miss Cherokee contestant platforms. Contestant number 1, JC Gideon. Her platform is uplifting the voices of our future.
A voice is powerful, but only if you believe it matters. At 10 years old, I learned that lesson at a 4-H competition. For some reason, I decided I wasn't just going to give one speech, I was going to give 4. The night before, my mom asked, "Jay, have you practiced any of your speeches?" And me being me, answered, no. So I crammed to learn all 4 that night, delivering them the next evening, and somehow walked away with 4 ribbons. Looking back, I probably should have prepared more, but that experience taught me something important. When I used my voice, people listened. That moment changed everything for me and got me started on my path to who I am today. As I grew older, I realized that not every child gets that chance to speak or believes that their voice even matters. For most of my life, my family welcomed foster children into our home through Cherokee Nation Indian Child Welfare. Some stayed a few days, some stayed for months, and each had their own story. But they all needed the same thing. They needed to feel heard. They needed to feel like their voice mattered because for many of them, it hadn't before. I saw this again working with Native youth at the Boys and Girls Club of Norman. Kids who were shy at first began raising their hands, sharing ideas, and even leading activities. When someone truly listened, they didn't just gain confidence. They began to believe in themselves. When someone took the time to listen, they began to believe that what they had to say mattered, and that's when their voices truly started to grow. For our Cherokee youth, being unheard can mean losing connection to who we are. We cannot afford for our Cherokee youth to feel invisible. When our young people don't hear their language spoken, their culture celebrated, or their voices valued, it's easy to believe they don't have a place in their own story. Our ancestors used their voices to carry us through removal, loss, and change. Now it's our responsibility to teach the next generation to add their voices. And when they add their voices, they strengthen our nation. And for us as Cherokee people, our voices have always been our strength. Through storytelling, we've passed down knowledge, values, and hope. I've grown to love telling those stories because each time we do, we protect our culture. Through storytelling, and when our young people when our youth learn to tell their own stories, they strengthen our nation's story too. My platform is grounded in a simple truth. When we uplift the voices of our youth, we protect the future of our culture. I stand here today because someone believed in my voice. And I want every Cherokee child to know that their voice is powerful, their story is sacred, and their future is worth fighting for. Our voices carry the past, shape the present, and build the future. Let's make sure every Cherokee voice is heard loud and clear. Wadon.
Well done, JC. Contestant number 2 is Callie Doublehead, and her platform is the value of Gadugi.
For centuries, our people have recognized community as one of our tribe's greatest strengths. Throughout history, our ancestors have faced many hardships, including forced removal, poverty, and the attempted genocide of our culture. Yet through it all, we came together. We found the strength to rebuild ourselves, and we continue to thrive. This resilience is rooted in the deeply cherished Cherokee value Gadugi, meaning everyone coming together for the common good. Gadugi is an ancient concept that's been passed down through generations, shaping our way of life by reminding us that when we stand together, we are our own greatest strength. Historically, we've always relied on each other for support. Our tribe believed we each have a responsibility to be there for one another, and when we work together, there's no limit to what we can accomplish. In the early 1980s, the community of Bell came together and built a 16-mile pipeline, giving themselves access to water and plumbing. They did this with only the help of themselves. This is just one example of what we as Cherokee people are capable of when we come together. We each have the power to strengthen our nation, but for a successful nation, we all must be willing to unite. Our people overcame the darkest of times by staying together, and today is no different. I believe the Cherokee Nation's communities still depend on this value. We have faced many challenges these past few years, ranging from natural disasters, elder care, community struggles, and the protection of our culture. While we managed to survive, we know more is to come. Not one person must face it alone. They must be met with a shared commitment from all of us. When we come together, we'll be able to face our problems at the local level and build stronger and more connected communities. Today, there are many opportunities to practice Gadugi in our everyday lives. By volunteering in your community, helping an elder, teaching our culture, or even the simple gesture of supporting a neighbor. These are just a few ways we can give back to each other, but in doing so, we'll be setting an example for the future generation of Cherokees. I encourage everyone to embrace Gadugi, not only to strengthen our communities, but our nation as a whole. When we work together, we'll be strengthening our connection to each other. Even if it seems like we aren't always on the same page, we're all part of the same thing. At the heart of the Cherokee Nation is its people. We are the foundation of our tribe, and it's up to us to make it stronger. Deep down, we have always been community-oriented people, and with Gadugi in our hearts, we'll be able to face our problems together while preserving our cultural values, ultimately building a stronger future for the next generation. Odon.
Odon, Kelly. Contestant number 3 is Leah Gardner, and her platform is cultural preservation.
As former Principal Chief Wilma Mankiller once said, in Iroquois society, leaders are encouraged to remember 7 generations in the past and to consider 7 generations in the future when making decisions that affect the people. And the ideology found in this statement is one that has kept the Cherokee history, culture, and language alive. We are a people with a strong sense of identity, not based on circumstance, but deeply rooted in tradition. The efforts of several generations before us has molded the Cherokee Nation into what it is today. And it is the evidence of these efforts that has inspired me to show others the importance of preserving our way of life as Cherokees. A couple of things that I see as pillars in our tribe's culture include our traditional art and our language. Finding ways to pass these things on to our young people is the only way to ensure that our nation can continue to grow. The theme of this year's Cherokee holiday is unity through generations. We are stronger when we are united, and I believe that cultural preservation is the perfect way to bridge the gap between our elders and our youth. Native American art is not only essential to our history as Cherokees, but it is essential to American history. Through their works, Native American artists were able to share their cultures, ideals, and beliefs to people who are outside of our tribes. And it is important for us to make space within our modern world to provide opportunities for Native American artists to express their creativity, but to also share their perspective as an Indigenous person.
Supporting this pillar creates discussions and conversations about our heritage for generations to come, and it keeps the importance of our culture at the forefront. But to me, our language is the root of our cultural identity. Without our language, who are we to call ourselves Cherokee? Our language is what has brought generations of Cherokees together and kept them together through desperate and discouraging times. This foundation could possibly be the most important, but also the hardest to keep alive. For example, the Caddos recently lost their last fluent speaker. And when Edmund Johnson died, so did the Caddo language. This could happen to any tribe, and it is our job to prevent that. We should be encouraging people to incorporate speaking their native languages into their daily lives. Our identity as Cherokee people is a fire that has been burning for thousands of years, and it is my prayer that this fire continues to burn for 1,000 years to come. I am thankful to be a part of a tribe that emphasizes and respects the significance of cultural preservation. And in the words of our principal chief, Chuck Hoskin Jr., when it comes to cultural preservation, all Cherokees are invited to join. Our culture, who we are, is the true strength of the Cherokee Nation. And so, in closing, I would like to extend the chief's invitation to all of you and ask you to do your part in keeping our fire alive. Thank you. Muda.
Muda, Leah. Contestant number 4 is Hannah Nugent, and her platform is Cultural Preservation through Reconnection.
What does it mean to be Cherokee? This question may seem simple, but it holds a deep meaning for people that spend years exploring. For some, the answer is rooted in family traditions that have been passed down for generations without interruption. For others, such as myself, the journey to answer this question begins with reconnection. It is through systematic efforts created to erase Indigenous identity that a disconnection between Cherokee people and our culture has been created. Today, many Cherokee Nation citizens feel that separation from our language and culture. I speak from firsthand experience. I grew up knowing I was Cherokee, but it wasn't until high school that I really understood what that meant. I was fortunate to attend Sequoia High School, and it was there that I was surrounded by students from various tribes. My friends spoke their languages, attended ceremonies, and their confidence in their cultural knowledge was something that I deeply admired. However, I felt unsure of my own place among them. But I didn't let that feeling define me. I let it inspire me instead. Through the encouragement of my friends, teachers, and mentors, I began to explore what being a Cherokee woman really meant to me. I began learning bits of our language, attending community events, and listening more closely to my elders and my relatives. My platform as Miss Cherokee is Cultural Preservation through Reconnection. I want to encourage all Cherokee Nation citizens who may feel disconnected or intimidated to take their first step. Whether it's learning a new word in our language, listening to traditional stories, or attending a community event, each step matters. To those of you who are already knowledgeable in our culture, I urge you to continue to teach, to share, and to welcome others into our traditions. Our culture is something to be lived, taught, and celebrated. This year's Cherokee National Holiday theme is Unity Through the Generations. Reconnection honors this unity. It reminds us that no matter where our journey begins, we are all part of the same story. As Miss Cherokee, I would use my platform to provide information on youth programs, online resources, community gatherings, and language classes. I would work to create welcoming spaces where questions are met with encouragement and not judgment. And most importantly, I would continue to listen, because every single Cherokee Nation citizen has a story, and those stories deserve to be heard. Together, through education, support, and unity, we can carry the strength and knowledge of our ancestors into the next 7 generations and beyond. Wadon.
Wadon, Hannah. So I'm going to read back to our platforms as well. Uplifting the voices of our future, the value of Gadugi, cultural preservation, and cultural preservation through reconnection. Please give another round of applause to each of our Miss Cherokee contestant platforms. So, as the ladies are backstage preparing for their cultural presentations, please enjoy a couple of songs from the Cherokee National Youth Choir under the direction of Mary Kay Henderson and Candace Bird Boney. Notice that there's two directors. That's your first two clue.
Just tune on the radio, we could California, no geese on the radio, we on the radio, we on the radio, we on the radio, we don't you do these guests, to ti no gita, una fana the illegal hussy, it's the radio, we how does no gita, it's the radio, we got a you, no gita, definitely you jelly, not screw, daddy no gisi, on the radio, we. Has the dusty coon on the radio, we cook California, Danny, no geese, on the radio, we. On the radio, we. On the radio, we. On the radio, we. Even though you do these guests, do no gita, the illegal hussy. It's the radio, we. It's the radio, we. Radio, we Genani,
Ladies and gentlemen, how about those two songs from the Cherokee National Youth Choir? We have two groups of judges. I'm going to start by introducing you to the Junior Miss Cherokee judges. First is Dr. Christy Kingfisher. Dr. Christy Joy Kingfisher, MD, is a former Junior Miss and Miss Cherokee. She was born and continues to reside in Tahlequah, Oklahoma with her loving parents and a pug hashtag. Christy has a bachelor's degree in biology from Northeastern State University and received her doctorate of medicine degree from the University of North Dakota. She completed her family medicine residency in Oklahoma City at the University of Oklahoma Health Center. She currently works at the primary care physician for the Cherokee Nation at the newly constructed and soon to open Amos Clinic in Salina, where she enjoys taking care of all of her patients from the very youngest to each of the elders. She's honored to be given this opportunity to judge Miss Cherokee competition tonight and wants to wish the contestants good luck. Please give a warm round of applause to Dr. Christy Kingfisher. Next is Stephen Hires. Stephen currently works for the Cherokee Nation as the director of the Small Business Assistance Center in the Tribe's Commerce Services Division. There he oversees the Cherokee Nation Small Business Assistance Center entrepreneurial development coaching and lending programs, which provide economic business, community development, and financing opportunities for entrepreneurs and small businesses throughout Northeast Oklahoma. Stephen is serving his third term on the Tahlequah City Council and is chairman of the Tahlequah Hospital Authority Board of Trustees and the Public Works Authority. A graduate of Northeastern State University, he BA in Mass Communications, Stephen has stayed active with NSU, serving on the board of the NSU Alumni Association. Stephen also holds a master's in administrative leadership from the University of Oklahoma and is a graduate of the OU Economic Development Institute. Stephen is a Cherokee citizen and lives in the Cherokee Nation Reservation in Tahlequah, Oklahoma, with his wife, Cammie, their three children, Jack, Lucy, and Kate. And so I'm going to ask Stephen if he'll turn his light on. So if you need a loan from Stephen, you need to see him tonight. He's running a yellow light special tonight. Please welcome Stephen Hires. Miss Mary Horsechief is our third judge. Mary Horsechief holds a Bachelor of Fine Arts from Northeastern State University. She is retired from the Cherokee Nation. She served as a substance abuse prevention leader with over 35 years of experience directing youth suicide prevention and regional prevention programs, pioneering tribal collaborations with state and federal agencies. She worked diligently with community organization and planning, providing nationwide training. Mary is also recognized as an award-winning Native American artist teaching traditional Cherokee cultural arts. Mary enjoys working with Native youth and is an avid sports fan, and I can testify she's a pretty scosty ball player as well. Please welcome Miss Mary Horsechief. So next we'll go into our cultural presentations. And so a major role of Miss Cherokee and Junior Miss Cherokee is to educate the public regarding the history, culture, and traditions of the Cherokee people. Each contestant will make a presentation sharing her tribal or cultural knowledge. So we will start with Junior Miss Cherokee, and contestant number 1 is Olivia Daugherty. Cultural presentation is language, community, and culture through art.
Sionigar usketgo hus dajinosel, language, community, and culture through art. Shkin naniwe sehon. Hello everyone, my name is Olivia Daugherty, and my culture presentation is language, community, and culture through art. Hastings Shejigesa once said, all Indians have the ability to be creative, even though some say, I can't do anything. Creating things with our hands and making things beautiful is a type of medicine, and I want to share that with you all this evening. My first painting represents language. Its title is Thoughts Angelic. Even when we are quiet, the language is still alive. She is in a place that is unfamiliar. She is calm, but her thoughts are still in Cherokee. This one is personal to me because I've felt that way before. Being pulled away from what you know and trying your best to hold on to it in what feels like another world. And my second painting is about community. Its title is The Hands That Will Never Forget. It shows a woman in a traditional buckskin top from the 1700s. Across her face is a red handprint showing the awareness for the missing and murdered indigenous women. Around her are other red handprints from many other men and women who support this cause. This is to show that even in hard times, our voices still matter. And when we come together, that is what makes our community stronger. My third painting is about culture. In our culture, cedar is medicine. We use cedar for many things. She is turning to her traditions and culture to take care of herself. Not modern medicine, not with a phone in her hand, but her culture. And my final painting is called The Knowledge That They Pass On. It shows my granny reaching her hand out to a child. The child reaching back reminds us that we have to be willing to accept the guidance and wisdom of our elders. And when we do, it is our responsibility to carry that knowledge forward and share it with others. Language, community, and culture should humble us all. It is what keeps our hearts in the right place. Art is culture. It holds memories, language, and values all at once. Wado.
Wado, Olivia. So these ladies each get to give their cultural presentation, and I have to filibuster a little bit so we can move everything off the stage. So you're going to get to hear my cultural presentation. Mary Kay, are you ready? I'm ready. Okay. Early in April of 2007, I got a note on my desk, and I was busy that morning. It said, you need to call Mr. Bayer, B-A-Y-E-R, before 10 a.m. And so I read it, and I said, well, I'm kind of busy. I'll get to it here in a little bit. 10 minutes later, people come up to me and say, Todd, did you call that guy? And I said, no, I haven't called him. And you really keep a spare microphone? Are we good? Okay. Hey, Mary Kay Henderson. So, Mary Kay Henderson never leaves the house without a microphone. She doesn't really need one, but she does it anyway. So, you know, I'm getting these harassing messages. You got to call this guy before 10 o'clock. He's going to leave the country. He's going to be out of the country for 3 months. And if I miss him before 10 o'clock, I'm going to miss him for 3 months. So finally, about 5 minutes till 10, the staff come by and said, Todd, have you called this guy? And I said, no, but I will do it right now. So I dialed 918-663 and some 4 digits, and I missed the greeting. All I heard was some jumbled text, and I said, hi, my name's Todd Enlow. I'm with the Cherokee Nation. I was told I have to give this guy a call. I need to speak to Mr. Bayer before he leaves the country. And they said, excuse me? And I said, well, once again, my name's Todd Enlow. I work with Cherokee Nation. I was told I need to speak to Mr. Bayer, B-A-Y-E-R. That's what I read. What they heard was Mr. Bayer, B-E-A-R. They said, sir, you have reached the Tulsa Zoo. Let me go back to the beginning. I said it was early in April. It was actually April 1st in 2007. that I made that call to the Tulsa Zoo. And now you understand why my nickname in Cherokee is Yon or Yona, which means bear. So, now that I've stalled long enough and we've switched out microphones, I can turn your attention to the center so that you can actually hear another good cultural presentation. Contestant number 2 is Kylie Pritchett, and her cultural presentation is how to make ball for stickball playing.
Sione God, today I'm going to demonstrate how to make a 4-corner stickball. There are many different ways to make a stickball. This is just one of the ways that I've been taught. So the first thing you're going to need is a walnut or a rock. In my case, I have a walnut. And then you're going to need a glover's needle. You're going to need sinew and yarn. You're going to need duct tape and scissors. And you're going to need leather. So the first thing you're going to want to do is take your leather and cut a square out that looks something like this. And then you're going to take your walnut or your rock, and you're going to take your corners, and you're going to match them together just like this. And you see how it rolls over like that? You're going to want to cut it until they meet perfectly, and they should all look something like this. Once they fit perfectly, then you're going to want to poke a hole in all 4 corners just like this. Then, once you did that, you can start sewing. This is one of the ones I have been working on, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your needle, your glover's needle, and you're going to want to start stitching left to right, under, until you get to this. Once you get to this point, you're going to want to keep doing the same stitch. And then the next thing you're going to want to do is tie it off. And I'm going to show you how to tie it off. So while you're making your stickball, make sure that you're just thinking good thoughts and just thinking like it does not have to be perfect. It just has to be functional. And then you're going to want to go under your string. Then you're going to want to take your needle and put it through just like this. And then you're going to want to tie it tight. Then once it's tight and you feel like your ball is how you like it, then you're going to want to take your scissors and cut just like that. And then you have a stickball. You're ready to go play stickball. Watto.
Well done. Thank you very much, Kylie.
Was it good? Okay. Yeah, you did good.
So,
Thanks.
that was my voice. I just threw that. You guys didn't realize that. There are talents I haven't even let the rest of the world know about. So, if you will indulge me, Chief and Deputy made mention of it, but there is a lot of support here from family and friends. So if you're a family member, a mom, a dad, a guardian, a grandparent, a brother, a sister, a cousin, or somewhere down the line, would you please stand so we can say thank you for letting us share these young ladies tonight? Tell you thank you. So contestant number 3 is Jordan Rodwell, and her cultural presentation is Singing Where the Roses Never Fade.
Tonight I will be singing Where the Roses Never Fade in Cherokee to honor my granny who just passed away in September. She was a first language speaker and loved Cherokee singing, so I hope you all enjoy. Squatini sesti hawa eladika hisai jiwanai kali hiwaya jali nikitini Niko hila, Niko hi. Ski stelis gesti ogo. Na wotila nu gogai. Anu oski stu the sea. Angilano ulokila. Iga ia isesti. Ski steady, ski steady, ski. Di ski kana wadida. Ski steady, ski steady, ski. Di ski kana wadida. What up?
What dong, Jordan? Let's give a round of applause to the people that don't want any attention, but those are the volunteers backstage that are making all of this happen. Contestant number 4 is Reese Henson, and her cultural presentation is a demonstration in the language.
I wrote a Cherokee prayer for our speakers. Ijalehaga, everyone stand up, please, if able. Idadado lista, let's pray. Skianathanahi, ahani, ojilu jiga, adage yudi, gadi, ogikalila I, joginawi I, ogiwoni histi, iskinela I. Ojali helik, asigu, kali, aniwoniski, janeha, alesku, nanehana, jigi. Ijali heli jeha, digogeyo husky, gogeyo huskai. Dehak sestesti, kahalini gohisti skesti, gayunihi lusty, jalagi, danadeyo huskai. Dojali heli jeha, digogatini dohi, naski, gayogihi lusty, jigi. Niga nihili sesti, dehali helisti skai, unadeta gost, igi woni histi, uwaga didisa ino, junadeyo dii, ahna, jalagi, junadeta guasti, juntan anadeta guaski, ale, junadeta guaski, godothlasa, ojali helig anisidanela, dunadotha sa, ale, diskadugi, ogalini gohistiska, ale unanti noske dia I, jojakses diha, ale nogige yusa. Utu gino agwaha ilanithia, idi jalagi niga jalagiha, digagali no hedi, niga diskadugi, dudothawadisa, emena. Wado. Oh. Creator, we come to you with hearts full of love for the gift of our language. We thank you for the fluent speakers among us today. We acknowledge, Creator, that fluent speakers are lost each year, but let us have hope that more of us will learn. We honor the elders who thought it was important to teach us, protect them, Creator, and give them strength and health so they may continue to share with us. Pray for our leaders who guide us in this effort. Bless all who continue to learn our language so they carry it forward in master, apprentice, immersion in our schools. We are grateful for the families and community that strengthen our language and support us. Creator, we ask that more people come to learn the language. May they know the importance of what we protect and cherish. May every word spoken in Cherokee carry the voice of our people, and may we speak it together one day in all our communities again. Wado.
Well done, Reese. That concludes the presentations from the Junior Miss Cherokee contestants. Let's give them another round of applause. Chief pulled me aside earlier and he said, Todd, I want to make sure we enjoy the whole night. And I said, sir, I promise we'll leave by 1:30 in the morning at the latest. You guys are ready for that, right? Wow, there's a lot of excitement out there. Canaan's ready. He's pretty all right. So now we're going to jump into the Miss Cherokee cultural presentations. And are we ready? All right. So contestant number 1 is JC Gideon. Her cultural presentation is storytelling, how the rabbit taught the wolves to howl.
One day, Rabbit was sitting to the side of a clearing, and the wolves, Waya, were sitting to the other. Rabbit was headed down to the creek to get some water. He was walking around, looking about, keeping a careful eye out through the woods as he walked towards the water. When all of a sudden, the wolves stepped forward. "Ha! We got you! We caught you," they said. "Agiosi, we're hungry. We want to eat. You look good. You look tasty. We're gonna gobble you up." Rabbit said, "Whoa, no. Wait, you don't want to eat me. I'm all skinny and bony. I don't have much meat." The wolf said, "We're starving, and unless you have some food, you're gonna die." So Rabbit thought fast and hard, when finally he said, "I was having a dream." The wolf said, "What was your dream about?" Rabbit said, "Last night my dream, it was so pretty. It was beautiful." The wolf said, "We don't care about your dream." Rabbit said, "But my dream, it was about singing and dancing. And all the animals know I'm the best singer and dancer in the whole world." The wolf said, "Teach us your song, and if we like it, maybe we'll let you live. But only if we can dance to it. If we can't dance to it, you're gonna die." So Rabbit pulled out his rattle and began to shake it. Shh, 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 shh. And the wolves did the same. Ho, ho, ho. Rabbit said, "Whoa, wait, you're doing it all wrong. You gotta listen to me. Raise your paws, shake your rattle, and sing to the Creator. When you sing to the Creator, you must close your eyes, you must stomp your feet, and you must howl. Oh!" So they did just that. Eyes closed, stomping, howling, for almost an hour. Ooh! 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 And when the wolves finally opened their eyes, Rabbit was gone. The wolves growled, "Ah, Rabbit, he got away." But then one said, "Rabbit needs to come back so he can teach us another song." And so they continued to sing, and so hopefully Rabbit would come back. And so, to this day, the wolves still howl in the evening. Ooh, ooh, ooh. They're waiting for Rabbit to come back and teach them another song. Well done.
Well done, JC. Have I introduced you guys to Mary Kay Henderson? My microphone really didn't go out, Mary Kay. How many people attended the reception prior to this, and she wouldn't relinquish the microphone to me, even though I was the MC for this evening? I tricked you. I just got your microphone back. Oh, man. All right, contestant number 2 is Callie Doublehead, And her cultural presentation is basket weaving.
Sionigad Peluja Dotachino Hetri. Basket weaving is one of our oldest and most well-known art forms. They have been a staple in our culture for centuries, dating back to pre-contact times. Originally, these baskets would be made by the Onigeya, the women of the tribe, and they had more of a practical use back then, with some baskets specifically made for catching fish, storing food and clothes, or ceremonial use. They would be made by locally harvested material like river cane, white oak, buckbush, and honeysuckle vines. And while we did dye our baskets, it wasn't really common until 1710 when we started using them for trading. We would dye them by boiling them in water with different roots and bark. Depending on what color you wanted, you would use butternut bark for ganige, walnut bark for uwodige, yellow root for dalonige, and bloodroot for odolonige. Today, baskets are really more of an art form than a tool for practicality. They are made with the more available commercial reed and are often dyed using artificial colors. So there are many different types of baskets. This one's a round reed basket. It was made by wrapping the reed around spokes coming from the center in an over-under pattern. This one is a flat reed. It was made by crisscrossing the strips of reed in certain patterns to give it the unique designs you always see. There are two types of reeds we use. This one is a Tallying asoya. You build up the wall, and when it's as high as you want, you go back over and make another layer, and you finish on the bottom. This one, a siyawi asoya, a single wall. You build it from the center, and when it's as high, you stop at the top. Hi'a nadanda taluj digotledi. To make a basic round reed basket, you're going to need a start and some reed. The start should already have a runner attached to it. You're going to continue to use that until it runs out. Then you're just going to insert another reed. So the runner and the start should be soaked in uganawa alma, warm water, for a couple of minutes so it won't snap when you're weaving. So to weave it, you're going to hold it with your opposite hand. You're going to use your dominant hand to guide the reed over and under each spoke. You're going to do this all the way around, and you'll see your basket start to build. This is where you can make your basket any way you want. See, baskets come in all shapes and sizes, and it's up to you how you want your basket to look. You can add color by replacing the normal reed with dyed reed, and when it's as big as you want, you can curve the spokes downwards and continue to weave back down to make it a double wall if you want to show off. But if you want a single wall, you'll just cut the spokes a little bit shorter than it usually is, and you're going to curve it over and under the two spokes next to it. You're going to do that all the way around, and you're going to have a braided rim and a finished basket. Wonton.
Wonton. Wonton, Callie. So, Mary Kay, what do you do if you have two non-dominant hands and you're trying to weave a basket?
I don't know, Todd. What do you do?
I don't know. I was hoping you knew. Contestant number 3 is Leah Gardner, and her cultural presentation is Storytelling, How the Deer Got His Antlers.
Long ago, the animals could walk and talk like we do, but they were also competitive like we are, and they were often debating over who was the best. And one day they began to ask who was the fastest out of all the animals. And they convinced the council that the only way to settle this dispute was to have a race. But who was going to compete? Some of the animals thought that Jistu, the rabbit, was definitely the fastest. They said, look at his big feet. They allow him to spring forward, so surely he can win. But other animals thought that Ahui, the deer, could definitely beat Jistu in a race. These animals said deer is our swiftest runner, and we believe that he will win. But Jistu said, wait. I have no reason to race Ahui. Unless, of course, there is a prize. And so an artisan from the village said, Jistu, do not worry, I will make a prize for this race. And the next day, the artisan brought out this beautifully carved set of antlers as a trophy. And when Jistu saw them, he thought to himself, I have to win this race no matter what. And about an hour before the race began, Jisoo approached the table of judges where members of the council sat as judges. And Jisoo said, "May I please go and look at the course? I wouldn't want me or Ahwi to trip on something or to fall." And after some discussion, they told Jisoo that they would allow it, as long as he promised not to be up to any of his tricks. Later that day, the animals gathered along the track to watch the competition. Ahwi took his place on the starting line, and Jisoo came walking confidently as he took his place. An elder hit a drum to signal the start of the race, and they took off. Ahwi ran as fast as he could through the brush, and when he got to this clearing just before the finish line, he couldn't see Jisoo, and he was sure that he had just won the race. But just then, Jisoo picked up the antlers and said, "I won, I won!" But there was no way that Jisoo could have ran that fast. Yona, the bear, suspected that Jisoo was up to something. And as he walked along the track where Jisoo had ran, he realized that when Jisoo was checking the course, he had chewed a path straight through the brush. Yona returned to the finish line and said, "Ahwi, I declare you the winner of this race, the fastest of all the animals, and I give you this set of antlers to wear proudly." But Jisoo said, "Wait, those are mine, I'm the winner." But Yona turned to Jisoo and said, "Jisoo, since you decided to cheat and make your own path, that will be your punishment. You will spend your days in the thicket, chewing through brush." This is a story of how deer got his antlers, why rabbits spend their days chewing through the thick of the forest, and why it is never a good idea for us to cheat. I hope you enjoyed this story and the lessons that are in it. Thank you, and we're done.
Well done, Leah. Mary, you can't have those antlers. I know you looked at them. They're pretty symmetrical. I got to admit, pretty nice set of antlers. That rabbit almost stole from that race. All right, contestant number 4 is Hannah Nugent, and her cultural presentation is playing Orphan Child on a traditional flute.
Orphan Child is a song that was created during removal, and it brought a lot of comfort to our people when they were forcefully removed from our homelands. Today, I will be providing the Cherokee lyrics and their English translation, and then I will begin playing the song on the flute. Owe dolisti kanega gantji anji song. I heard Jesus have sorrow. Unidodana nunehana unida niyadam. Orphans without fathers. Jagawiyuhi naku tatinuga dejanasam. God, now take them to your home. Junoyeniku dehina yesesti nigohila. All of them, their hands, hold them forever. Diniyohli tatinuga galalati. Take the children to heaven. Junodu iyu wanahesti galalati. They are pretty, will live forever, they're up in heaven.
Well done, Hannah. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes each of the cultural presentations. Let's give each of the contestants one more round of applause. So earlier I told you there were two sets of judges, so I'm going to introduce you to the Miss Cherokee judges. First, Feather Smith. Feather Smith has worked for the Cherokee Nation since 2007, where she worked as a tour guide at the Cherokee Heritage Center Village until 2015. She then served as a cultural biologist before becoming the current ethnobiology manager with the Secretary of Natural Resources Office. As the ethnobiology manager, she oversees the Cherokee Nation Seed Bank and helps care for the Cherokee Nation Heirloom Garden and the native plant site. Feather has a Bachelor of Science in Fish and Wildlife Biology from Northeastern State University in Tahlequah, Oklahoma. And Feather was Junior Miss Cherokee and Miss Cherokee in 2008-2009, and she currently resides in Tahlequah, Oklahoma. Please welcome Miss Feather Smith. Mr. Elton Sunday is a citizen of the Cherokee Nation and has been a lifelong resident of Craig County. Mr. Sunday has over 36 years of dedicated service in the field of healthcare, and the last 20 being focused on improving access and service to tribal communities. As member of the Cherokee Nation Health Services team, Mr. Sunday currently serves as the Senior Clinic Administrator for 8 of the ambulatory health centers located outside of Tahlequah. He attended Oklahoma State University and currently holds a master's in healthcare administration. He is also a certified instructor for first aid and CPR with the American Heart Association, providing courses for employees and community organizations. Mr. Sunday is a member of the Northeast Tribal Health System governing body for over 20 years and has served on a multi-year national work group for the Centers for Disaster Preparedness in Anniston, Alabama, to develop training and education programming for tribal programs offering services to their communities in emergency management, law enforcement, and each of the areas of healthcare services, which include public health, first responder, and emergency and primary care. Mr. Sunday and his wife, Robin, have raised a family of boys. Blessed with 3 sons and 4 grandsons, he is a licensed ordained minister and serves as a deacon at the First Baptist Church in Veneta, where he and his wife are active members of the praise team and the life group leaders. Please put your hands together for Mr. Elton Sunday. Miss Deborah Proctor is the registered nurse with over 49 years of experience, devoted her career to enhancing health care for Native Americans. Her dedication is deeply influenced by her upbringing in Indian boarding schools, her father's commitment to education and public service, and her mother being an RN. She obtained her RN degree at the age of 19 from Bacone College and later earned her BSN in 1990 from Northeastern State University. Her nursing career has spanned many settings, including hospital, community, hospice, research, behavioral health programs for alcoholism and addiction, programs for all-inclusive care for the elderly, which is known as PACE, domestic violence program, work travel, board member, and advocacy to improve health care for Native Americans, especially in rural areas and high-risk populations. Deborah has worked with various healthcare settings, emphasizing quality, compassion, and the healing of intergenerational trauma. Even after her semi-retirement in 2024, she continues to advocate for those important issues. She currently serves on the Cherokee Nation Task Force to protect women and families. Deborah is a citizen of the Cherokee Nation and resides in Tahlequah, Oklahoma, and she's a pretty scosty golfer. Let's welcome Miss Deborah Proctor. So this next one is a little special for me, and I hope you will join me with a warm round of applause and perhaps stand in honor of her contributions over the years. and that is our language judge. And that goes to Anna Sixkiller, is our language judge for both Miss Cherokee and Junior Miss Cherokee. Anna Sixkiller is a basket maker and a first language speaker. Anna is passionate about her traditional methods and is dedicated to sharing her knowledge as a weaver and a Cherokee speaker. She was named a Cherokee National Treasure for basketry in 1991. Anna currently works as a translator with the Cherokee Nation Language Department at the Durban Feeling Language Center. Throughout her career, she's provided Cherokee language classes, created curriculum, gave cultural presentations, translated stories for the Cherokee Phoenix newspaper, provided a proficiency Cherokee test for Cherokee Nation employees, provided certification tests for Cherokee language instructors, and in 2005 created the Cherokee syllabary keyboard and provided translation for Microsoft, just to name a few. She began working at the Cherokee Heritage Center in 1975 and in 2025 was awarded the Heartland Emmy Award for translation for Let's Talk Cherokee, Fry Bread Eaters. This is proof that 50 years is just a number when it's doing something you love and that her first language is a true passion. Please stand and recognize, if you would, our language speaker, Miss Anna Sixkiller. All right, for the second time tonight, I'm going to ask Miss Mary Kay Henderson and Candace Bird Boney, the two directors of the Cherokee National Youth Choir, to come up and sing two more songs for the second time tonight. You guys starting to get the picture? Two is enough. You guys are going to get tired of hearing this. You're going to say the two is enough, Todd. Please welcome the Cherokee National Youth Choir one more time.
tatasta Tlatla odala uketalia Ueyaya wale wistota Isquatuli haskiani hasti Witachiluta
Skiane ha, wida jiluja, la jadon te digiki.
Tata odala uketalia Ueya yawa lewistota Wakilu histino
Unole, akaska, la yawa lewisto de ganali yesa. Igo hila.
Tata odala uketalia Ueya yawa lewistota Isquatuli haskiani hesti Witachiluja oganali Tata odala uketalia Ueya yawa lewistota Wakilu histino Tata odala uketalia Ueya yawa lewistota Wakilu histino
You have one fan in the audience. Let's give another round of applause to the Cherokee National Youth Choir. And their two directors, Miss Mary Kay Henderson and Candace Bird Boney. They also deserve a round of applause. All right, so a little bit about the history of Miss Cherokee. The first indication of royalty during the Cherokee National Holiday was in 1955 when Phyllis Osage, a student at Sequoia Vocational School, was queen of the cornstalk shoot. She was awarded trophies and the winners of the cornstalk to the winners of the cornstalk shoot. In 1957, the title was changed to Miss Cherokee Holiday, which was coordinated through the Tahlequah Chamber of Commerce. Linda Burrows was the first to hold that title. She was awarded $100 scholarship to Northeastern State University and 2 pieces of luggage. Hence, the pattern continues. In 1962, the first Miss Cherokee, Ramona Collier of Tahlequah, was crowned. She was awarded a $200 scholarship and expenses paid weekend, that's 2 days, at Western Hills Lodge and several other gifts. This was the first mention of the title winner's role extended beyond the holiday festival. She was expected to appear at several tribal, community, and state functions. Since then, the official title has remained Miss Cherokee. 62 different young ladies have held the title, with one lucky young lady, Miss Mary Kay Harshaw, or now Henderson, holding the title for 2 consecutive terms in 1980 to 81 and 81 to 82. More recently, due to the pandemic, Miss Cherokee Mika Roy and Junior Miss Cherokee Desiree Matthews completed consecutive terms as well. So, I want to recognize and celebrate. I give her a lot of grief. I took her microphone and she graciously gave it to me. But please put your hands together for the 2-timer Miss Cherokee, Miss Mary Kay Henderson. You're never going to let me have another microphone, are you? Okay, that's great. Okay, so we're at the final stages of the competition, and it's now time for impromptu questions. So let's bring the Junior Miss Cherokee contestants back on the stage. At this time, the contestants will have one final opportunity to impress the judges by responding to impromptu questions that have been prepared by the judges. But before we begin, each of the contestants was provided a beautiful rose by the current Junior Miss Cherokee, Daisy Starr, and they will each draw a question, read it, and then I will read it twice, and the contestants will give their answer. You guys ready? Maybe? Okay. All right. So, contestant number 1 is Olivia Daughtry. And that's Olivia Daugherty. Can't talk. Okay. I'm going to read your question twice. If you were the Cherokee National Holiday Coordinator, what addition would you make? If you were the Cherokee National Holiday Coordinator, what addition would you make?
I would make more cultural activities or language programs to help us stay connected to the language and our culture. What-o?
Well done. Contestant number 2 is Kylie Pritchett. Describe to us a favorite Cherokee value that you live by. Again, describe to us a favorite Cherokee value that you live by.
Keeping strong family ties, because without our community and our families, we Cherokees are not very much. We need our families and our generations to stay as one. What-o?
Well done, Kylie. Contestant number 3 is Jordan Rodwell. If you could spend a day with your great-great-grandparent, describe to us what that day would look like. Again, if you could spend a day with your great-great-grandparent, describe to us what that day would look like.
If I could spend a day with my great-great-grandparent, I'm sure we would go catch crawdads, make wishy, catch witchy, and sing Cherokee songs, because I know that's what my family loves to do. What-o?
Well done. And contestant number 4 is Reese Henson. Be careful, Chief. If you were chief for a day, what would you like to accomplish? Again, if you were chief for a day, what would you like to accomplish?
If I was chief for a day, I would like to accomplish going to all our communities and our reservation and making sure all the citizens had what they needed, like housing, food, even just like a big hog fry, feeding everyone. That's what I would do. What-o?
Well done, Reese. This concludes their portion of the contest, so please Celebrate and recognize Olivia Doherty, Kylie Pritchett, Jordan Rodwell, and Reese Henson. So now we will jump into the questions for the Miss Cherokee contestants to answer those impromptu questions. Each contestant was provided a rose by the current Miss Cherokee, Miss Ella Mounts, and Miss Mounts will also join us on stage to help hand out the questions. Contestant number 1 is J.C. Gideon. If selected, how will you use the role as Miss Cherokee to address the most significant issues facing the younger generation today? Again, if selected, how will you use the role as Miss Cherokee to address the most significant issue facing the younger generation today?
If selected as Miss Cherokee, I will use my platform to help solve the most significant issue facing the youth today, and that is the gap between our elders and our youth. So I would like to go into our schools and organize a way for our elders and our first language speakers to connect with our younger generation of students, because the younger that we implement those language programs, the more likely we are to uplift the future of our nation and language revitalization. Well done. Thank you.
Well done, JC. Contestant number 2, Callie Doublehead. Careful again, Chief. If you were chief for a day, what would you change? Again, your question is, if you were chief for a day, what would you change?
Well, if I was chief for a day, I would be the second female chief, so I'd probably break the stigma of, the sexism that there is. Well done.
Well done, Callie. Contestant number 3 is Leah Gardner. What Cherokee cultural attributes make Cherokee women strong leaders? Again, your question is, what Cherokee cultural attributes make Cherokee women strong leaders?
The Cherokee cultural attribute that I think that make what I think makes our Cherokee women strong leaders is our resilience. Some people might call it stubbornness, but I think it's our determination, and we have this fire in us that we do not let anyone put out, and we're never going to give up. And if we see a goal, we're destined to set it and make it. Thank you. Well done.
Well done, Leah. And contestant number 4 is Hannah Nugent. How will you use your knowledge of Cherokee history and culture to build and further relationships? Again, your question is, How will you use your knowledge of Cherokee history and culture to build and further relationships?
The way I would use my Cherokee cultural history and knowledge to further and build relationships with people is to actively listen to folks and have deep conversations with them. I would love to be able to sit down with our elders and our youth and be able to engage in fun and interactive ways to further our language and our history and our culture. I think it's really important that we make it as engaging as possible for our youth, and I think it's very important that we continue to listen to our elders and soak up as much knowledge as possible. Wadon.
Wadon, Hannah. So I'm going to hold them up here for just a minute. This is not at all what we rehearsed, right? You're like, why don't we get to go backstage? So those are impromptu questions, right? They didn't know what they were. And so their impromptu questions that we would play around with was, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? I didn't get a very satisfactory answer, honestly. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the Miss Cherokee contestants. Now you can go backstage, shake it off a little bit, and relax. Let's give all of our contestants one more round of applause. I was hoping they would repeat that question when I asked it earlier, but they didn't. Okay, so I told you that I have a box of tissue up here. I might share it with a few of you. But let's welcome back to the stage for her end of reign presentation for Junior Miss Cherokee, Miss Daisy Starr. Daisy is a junior at Westville High School, active in sports and looking forward to the new school year. Daisy promoted language preservation, a cause close to her heart. Proficient in reading, writing, and speaking Cherokee, Daisy is a passionate advocate for language learning, encouraging everyone to embrace the Cherokee language at any skill level to instill pride and a sense of belonging. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Junior Miss Cherokee, Daisy Starr for 2024-2025.
Osionigad, Uwadia Dawadon. Delado Yawadetian, Saduine, no Wijian, Weso Degatel Quasco, Steo Janelle. Hello, everyone. My name is Daisy Starr. I'm 16 years old. I'm in the 11th grade. I go to Westville High School, and I live in Stillwell. I've had the absolute honor of serving as your 2024-2025 Junior Miss Cherokee. 1 year ago, I was standing right where these incredible young ladies are now. And to be completely honest, I didn't remember every detail leading up to this big announcement, but what I do remember is thinking, any one of us can win this, and each of us would make the Cherokee Nation proud. I was nervous, I was excited, but more than anything, I was proud. Proud that we were brave enough to stand on that stage, share our platforms, and speak from the heart. What I really wanted to yell from the backstage is, we live to tell the tale. We had one goal, to make it through the night, and we did. But what we walked away with was so much more than a title. We walked away knowing that we can conquer anything we set our minds to. Yes, it's scary. Yes, it's stressful, but with encouragement, unity, and a little faith, we did it. And to tonight's contestants, I am so proud of you. I'm excited not just to see who gets crowned, but to see what each of you will go on to accomplish in the future, because this is just the beginning. Being Junior Miss Cherokee has been an unforgettable journey, full of exciting moments, valuable lessons, and personal growth. I've got to see firsthand the dedication, culture, and community that makes our nation so strong. And let me tell you, behind every beautiful float, every ribbon cutting, every cultural event, there's an army of hardworking people making it all happen. Sandy Long and crew, thank you for always having the float ready and just the right amount of candy for parades. You never miss. Cameron, April, and their amazing staff. Your attention to detail at every site opening made each one feel special. Steph and the comms team. Your photos always captured the spirit of each event so perfectly. And to everyone else working behind the scenes, thank you for keeping everything picture perfect. You are the quiet heroes who make all of this happen. And to everyone else working behind the scenes, to the Junior Miss Cherokee Committee, Lisa Trice Turtle, Mary Kay Henderson, Londa Cox, Julie Deerenwater, and Kristen Thomas, Wado. Thank you for guiding me, encouraging me, and believing in me. Your leadership shaped this year into something I'll cherish forever. To Reba Bruner, thank you for your compassion. The plant you gave in honor of my paw touched my heart. Thank you for reminding me that kindness can carry us through anything. To Michael and Tanya, we've truly become a family. Who would have thought 2 girls from Adair County would end up doing all this together, from sharing the stage to watching Hocus Pocus on our days off? You've made this journey unforgettable. I'm so thankful our paths crossed. Ella, what can I even say? From hockey games to ScottyCon as Jackie and Willie Jack, after our duties are done, of course, to teaching our culture and language together, we were a team. Maybe I'm a little biased, but I think we were a pretty great duo. Our fight scenes, the naps in the back seat are going to be hard to beat. Thank you for being an exemplary Miss Cherokee and a dear friend. I can't wait to see where life takes you. I know you'll do incredible things. To my littles, Maggie, baby Ella, Elsie, Caden, and Cooper, it has been a true joy to serve alongside you. Watching each of you grow and gain confidence with every event has been one of the greatest rewards. Maggie, I'll miss your adventurous spirit, and you're always ready to dive into the next fun thing with me. Baby Ella, your sweet smile radiates kindness and happiness to all around you. Thank you for stepping out of your comfort zone when Maggie and I drag you into the dance floor. Elsie, I'll always have paper and pen ready for our long events, and I'll always be there to lean on for a nap. Caden and Cooper, your quiet strength will never went unnoticed. My littles, thank you all for the memories, the laughter, and the love. I'll miss you more than you know. Thank you for letting me be your big. Chief Chuck Hoskin Jr. and Deputy Chief Brian Warner, thank you for entrusting me with the honor of representing our nation. Chief, the way you command a room with your words is powerful. I've learned so much just by watching you speak. Deputy Chief, your prayers have always moved me. The way your faith leads your words is inspiring. Thank you both for showing me what leadership rooted in values and vision truly looks like. Councilwoman Hall, your smile lights up every room, and your warm words are always encouraging. Councilwoman Black Fox Qualls, your basketball skills are no joke. I'm still not sure who won that shootout at Employee Appreciation, but I'll never forget it. Councilwoman Dr. Teehee, thank you for reminding me to use our language every chance I get. I always knew to be ready with a Cherokee word or two when you were around. And of course, to dance like no one's watching, because yes, she can dance too. Councilman Sams, serving alongside you has been a true honor. Whether it's at a community meeting or a parade, you always listen with care and show a genuine smile and laugh. Councilman Poindexter, the best dance partner around. Thank you for always being a friendly face in the crowd and for inviting me to events. Like everyone I've mentioned before, you made sure I was included in all the fun. For that, I am truly grateful. I'll miss our mandatory photos and the laughs we share along the way. A very special wado to the world's best travel partner, Heather Fight. You made every trip an adventure, from stopping at state signs in full regalia to finding the best hidden restaurants. You made every mile memorable. Your kindness, patience, and ability to treat me like one of your own will stay with me forever. And guess what? You're stuck with me now. To my biggest supporter, my mom, Denise. Thank you for the early mornings, the late night drives, the driving, the planning, the packing, the encouraging, the cheering, the dry cleaning bill. You sacrificed so much to give me this unforgettable year. I love you more than I can say, and I'll always be thankful for everything you've done. And to the one who always told me I could do anything and be anyone I wanted to be. You taught me that speaking Cherokee is a gift worth fighting for. And I'm so thankful that you were able to see me reach this goal, one that we set together. And that was my paw. And most importantly, I thank my Lord and Savior. Where I am today is only by your grace. Thank you for placing these wonderful people in my life. Each playing a special role. I am forever grateful for your mercy, love, and the plans you set before me long before anyone else knew. So one final time, O Sione God, Uboria Dauno, Dolade Yoadetia, Saduine no Wigiai, Weso de Gadel Quasco, Still Janelle. I am your reigning 2024-2025 Junior Miss Cherokee Daisy Star. It has been an honor of a lifetime to represent the Cherokee Nation. As we say farewell to this chapter, I'll leave you with this. We are the ancestors' wildest dreams and the future's greatest hopes. Wadon.
as she makes her way out to the stage, I want to celebrate and recognize she's going to be adorned with gifts from others. And so if you would, please put your hands together for the current title holder of Junior Miss Cherokee, Miss Daisy Starr. Daisy, before you walk completely off stage, I have some news for you. You get to hold on to your title just a little bit longer. Folks, we have a tie. I told you we were going to leave about somewhere between 1 and 1:30. So you get to hold on to that for just a few minutes longer. So the way this is going to work is I have an envelope here that I haven't opened. None of the contestants have seen. They are sequestered backstage behind a soundproof door. I'm going to read the same question to each contestant, and then each will answer. And so it's going to take a moment. So you're going to hear some really horrible dad jokes in between each one of those. So bear with us. Little suspense build, right? Sing a song. I'll clear out the auditorium within seconds. All right. Is our first contestant ready? Man, I don't know who that is, but they're the biggest fan and they're ready to go now. Ready? So our first contestant is Olivia Doherty. And I have to slow down. So when I pronounce that, something about my R's. And so when Mika Roy was crowned Miss Cherokee, I have a tendency to blend and add an extra R in there. And so I want to say Mika Rory. And so if you'll notice, anytime I say that name, I have to pause. And I'm doing the same thing with Doherty. See, I got to say it slow, and it stretches it out. That's the Oklahoma pronunciation. Or I'll put 14 R's in there. Good. All right, with contestant number 1, Olivia, please come to the front. Give her another round of applause. It wasn't me, I promise. Okay, so this question will be asked of each contestant. I haven't read the whole thing myself, so here we go. How does having a strong Cherokee identity help you navigate through life? Again, the question is, how does having a strong Cherokee identity help you navigate through life?
Say something. For me, it helps communicate with my community. When someone needs something, I'm there for them, and I'm willing to help with anything, and that's how it helps me communicate with my community and share my culture and my knowledge of our language. And yeah, what up?
All right, contestant number 1. So again, each of the contestants are backstage. They're behind a closed door, so it's going to take us a few moments to bring them forward to be fair to everyone. Let's give our judges another round of applause because now they're working overtime. All right, contestant number 2 is Kylie Pritchett. All right, Kylie, I'll read your question twice, just as before. And your question is, how does having a strong Cherokee identity help you navigate through life? Again, the question is, how does having a strong Cherokee identity help you navigate through life?
It helps by just keeping me grounded, and I feel really safe because I have a big community and I have a lot of people supporting me. And whenever I go to my culture events and I'm just surrounded by so much love and peace and community and gratitude, it just makes me feel like I'm home.
Well done. Contestant number 2. Have I introduced you guys to Mary Kay Henderson? 2-time Miss Cherokee. Notice that there's now 2 marshals that have now flanked me. I don't know if they're there for my security or I'm a suspect at this point for stealing a microphone from Mary Kay Henderson. All right. Contestant number 3 is Jordan Rodwell. Okay, Jordan, so just as before, I'm going to read the question twice. How does having a strong Cherokee identity help you navigate through life? Again, how does having a strong Cherokee identity help you navigate through life?
Having a strong Cherokee identity has really gotten me through some things. I lived in Oklahoma City for 5 years, and being the only Native kid in my schools, it was hard. But going home and getting to talk to my mom in Cherokee and my dad in Cherokee and my sister in Cherokee really got me through those 5 years. Wado.
Wado. Contestant number 3. And it's not fair for us because we told them they could go relax backstage, and then we just amped it up and turned up the stress level again. All right, I'm getting a thumbs up. So contestant number 4 is Reese Henson. All right, so I'll read your question twice, just like before. How does having a strong Cherokee identity help you navigate through life? Again, how does having a strong Cherokee identity help you navigate through life?
I think having a strong identity through life will help you because you're always going to know who you are and you're going to know your people. And it's important to know where you come from and how you represent yourself and just to know where you belong and just be strong and determined. And yeah.
All right. Well done. Contestant number 4. Let's give each of those contestants one more round of applause. I was told backstage that the tally group is back there with an abacus just double checking all the numbers. So if any of you know what an abacus is, you'll get that reference. Okay. So we're gonna delay the announcement of Junior Miss Cherokee just a little bit. So we're going to move on to recognizing our current Miss Cherokee. And so if you would, please welcome to the stage for her end of reign presentation, Miss Ella Mounts, Miss Cherokee 2024 through 2025. Ella is Miss Cherokee, is a junior attending Northeastern State University, majoring in graphic art. Her platform as Miss Cherokee is encouraging language and culture. Early in our youth, she believes that the revitalization of our culture begins with our youth and wants to encourage parents to pass along the knowledge they have to their children, no matter how much they know. And I do want to recognize and thank Ella. So many times across at-large events, I would ask her to go up and sing, because the first time I heard her sing was in Pennsylvania or New Jersey, one of those two states. And it was in an old hotel. And as she sang, the entire hotel stopped. And I mean the entire hotel. The wait staff that was in the back, guests that were checking in, stopped dead in their tracks just to listen to her sing. And so if you would, please welcome Miss Cherokee, Ella Mounts.
Sionagad, Jalagi ga hati jgeyu dawadwa, Ella Mounts dawado yone ga hati. Taskosaku iagodeti yada, Stillwell, Oklahoma, Ginela. Hello, everyone. My name is Ella Grace Mounts, and I am your 2024-2025 Miss Cherokee. I'm already telling you I am more than likely going to cry, so there are not enough words to express just how amazing this year has been. I have grown so much as a person, to the point that I don't recognize who I was at the beginning of the year as compared to now. This year has been filled with so much laughter, love, and support, and I've made so many new connections that I hope will continue to thrive even after tonight. There are no words to say just how grateful I am for everyone who has supported me in my year, and as much as I would like to name each and every one of you to give you the recognition you so rightfully deserve, unfortunately, I only have so much time left on this stage. But I want you to know that I truly value each and every one of you, and my year would not have been what it is without you. There are some people who I would like to thank personally. Firstly, I would like to thank the Miss Cherokee Committee. All of you are role models to so many young Cherokees. Your strength as Cherokee women shows not just how you carry yourselves, but how you care for me and the other ambassadors. I think I speak for all of us when I say thank you for everything that you've done for us. I love each and every one of you. From the long flights to travel days that look like they might turn into an impromptu road trip, you guys have been there for me, keeping me safe and calm when I needed it. You do so much for the youth of our tribe, and I am so proud to call each and every one of you my friends, if not my family. Next, I would like to thank Heather Fight. Heather, you have been with me since day one. You have been my biggest supporter, and throughout my year, you have pushed me to better myself constantly, encouraging me to thrive and strive to be the best that I can be. From early morning travel days to ghost hunting at haunted hotels and dealing with my craziness on almost a daily basis, you've seen me on my good days and my bad and never held it against me. You are such a shining beacon of light in my life, and I truly value the bond that we have forged over this year. And as Mary Kay can probably tell you, now that you've let me in, you're never going to get rid of me. Your office is now a permanent stop when I go to the complex. Thank you for your support. Next, I would like to thank some very special people who I would most certainly not be here without. My family. Each and every one of you has been by my side cheering me on since I told you that I planned on running for Miss Cherokee. Some of you have been waiting literal years for me to run. Thank you for being patient with me and allowing me to do it in my own time and being my rocks throughout this whole year. To my aunties, uncles, and cousins, all my life, you have been my teachers, and almost everything I know about my culture, I learned from one of you. You've been my rocks and my role models. I know that I still have so much to learn from each of you, and I hope that you will continue to teach me for years to come. To my Aunt Reba, you have served your tribe for years and have seen so many Miss and Junior Miss Cherokees walk across this stage. Even though we aren't related by blood, I am so proud to call you my aunt. I can only hope that I have made you proud. I want to thank you for all your years of service to this tribe and to the Miss and Junior Miss Cherokee program. I love you so much. To my mom and my dad, my goodness, what can I say to properly express just how grateful I am to both of you? All throughout my life, you have supported me in all of my endeavors, never telling me I couldn't or limiting me, but pushing me to pursue my dreams and fighting by my side to help me thrive in my day-to-day life. You have never once told me that I couldn't do something, even when I got a diagnosis of autism. While the world would want you to tell me that I'm not capable of certain things, you didn't limit me. You kept pushing me to pursue bigger and better things, and I have never once felt like I couldn't do something for one simple reason. I know that I have you two there to love and support me. Through my failures and my triumphs, you have been by my side, cheering me on, drying my tears, and lifting me up to help me pursue my ambitions. I can never tell you just how grateful I am for you both. You have sacrificed so much for me. There are not enough words to describe how much I cherish and love you too. Thank you for being my biggest cheerleaders, supporters, and most importantly, thank you for being my parents. I love you to the moon and back. Next, I would like to thank someone very special to me, who, unfortunately, isn't here tonight. My Lisi. My Lisi has been my best friend, my biggest supporter, since I was little. Her house was my second home. The place I felt safe, the place I grew. Not only is my Lisi my best friend, she is my absolute role model. She is the strongest woman I have ever met. I look up to her in so many ways. She gave up such a vital part of herself in order to protect the ones she loved. She gave up a dream of speaking Cherokee with her children and her grandchildren just to keep us safe from the blatant abuse she and her peers endured in school. I can only hope that I have made you proud, and one of these days, I'll be speaking Cherokee beside you. Gegeyu Elise, Wado. To the Tribal Council and members of administration, thank you so much for welcoming me with open arms. Each of you are shining examples of leadership that I aspire to be like one day. You lead each of us with dignity and eloquence, and to quote Chief Chuck Hoskin, Jr., the future of the Cherokee Nation looks bright, and that's because of all the hard work each of you put into our tribe, giving the youth no shortage of role models to look up to. Thank you for representing and fighting for us all. To my little ambassadors, over this year, I've gotten to watch each of you grow in so many ways. Each of you have my heart. I'm an only child, so I never got to experience having little siblings. But each of you have become the little siblings I never had. I love each of you so much, and I can't wait to see where the world takes you. You're going to do absolutely incredible things. Lastly, to my junior miss, Daisy. You are such a beautiful, shining example of what a junior miss should be. You are elegant, poised, but scosty and ornery. From the go-get, we clicked in a way that I don't click with many people. I've seen you blossom into an incredible young woman who I am so excited to see where you go. I know that no matter what you do, you are going to be amazing. No matter what, I want you to know that I always have your back. After all, we learned 1 year ago tonight
that that's what cousins do. You're going to do so many incredible things. And I am so incredibly proud of you. And I'm not just saying all this because you have a plethora of embarrassing pictures of me sleeping on our car rides. I know I've said it already, but I can't state it enough just how proud I am of you. I love you so much, Daisy. You're going to be amazing. Chief and Deputy Chief, I want to thank you for your support through this year. Without you and your continued effort to fight for our tribe's sovereignty, language, and cultural preservation, I would not have gotten to experience this opportunity. And I know that for me and so many other Cherokees in this tribe, we would not be as active in the tribe today if it weren't for your contributions and your continued efforts. Thank you. I can't say enough just how thankful I am that I was allowed the amazing honor and opportunity to serve my tribe in this capacity. I have learned so much, not just about my tribe and its citizens, but myself as well. Thank you all for allowing me to serve as your Miss Cherokee. Dona dago hai, wado.
she makes her way back out to the center of the stage, would you please celebrate and recognize the Elements Miss Cherokee 2024-2025. All right, there she is one last time, Miss Cherokee. So I'm going to need a minute to figure out what we do next. Because I got to see if we got tallies. Do we? We do? All right. You guys ready? Yeah, look. Man. Am I good looking? Okay. Hey, wait a minute. He doesn't need him back up. Yeah, this is a tough crowd. All right, let's start by having each of our Junior Miss Cherokee contestants come back to the front. And as they make their way out, I will introduce you to them once again. Contestant number 1, Olivia Doherty. Contestant number 2, Kylie Pritchett. Contestant number 3, Jordan Rodwell. And contestant number 4, Reese Henson. I'll get them up there eventually. Building suspense as I open up the envelope. So if I could have Chief Deputy Junior Miss Cherokee join us on stage. Daisy Starr. Okay, we'll start with third runner-up. Third runner-up for Junior Miss Cherokee is Kylie Pritchett. Congratulations, Kylie. Second runner-up is Jordan Rodwell. Congratulations, Jordan. First runner-up is Olivia Doherty. Junior Miss Cherokee for 2025-2026 is Miss Reese Henson. So as they're taking that photo, I want to remind each of you and the audience that we got to witness some pretty talented young ladies in demonstrations and platforms and presentations that were impressive. Let's give them all another round of applause. Okay, if I could have Miss Cherokee Ella Mounts join us on the stage as well. And then I will announce each of the Miss Cherokee contestants as well. Contestant number 1 is JC Gideon. Contestant number 2 is Callie Doublehead. Contestant number 3 is Leah Gardner. And contestant number 4 is Hannah Nugent. Anybody nervous? I know, I'm terribly nervous. Miss Cherokee, Ella Mounts. She's not wanting to give up the crown, folks. I don't blame her. All right. Third runner-up for Miss Cherokee 2025-2026 and a $500 scholarship goes to... I'm just going to need you to follow me around everywhere. Third runner-up is Callie Doublehead. Continuing in the theme of two, second runner-up and a $2,000 scholarship goes to J.C. Gideon. First runner-up and a $3,000 scholarship goes to Leah Gardner. I have breaking news. This form has been altered by Mary Kay Henderson. She wrote her name in crayon, and it will not work this time. You can't be a three-peat. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Cherokee 2025-2026, and a $6,000 scholarship goes to Hannah Nugent. Any metalsmiths in the audience by any chance? Yeah. Mary Kay, in all your efforts, this is getting a little out of control. Let me guess, if we put that crown on your head, it would fit just perfectly, wouldn't it? Like it was made for it. Do over. Okay, before everybody runs off, they're going to take a couple of photos, but I'm going to ask that not everybody rush the stage after we get this photo taken, because we want to take a series of some photos with all of the contestants, and so we'll be busy up here taking those photos, so I ask that you not come up here so we can try and get these done as quickly as possible, and then we can turn each of the contestants back over to their family. And once again, each of these young ladies did an absolutely amazing job tonight. Let's give them all a round of applause. Thank you for being here with us. We got finished before 1:30. Thank you guys very much for being here. Dona dago ha'i. Council members, you can make your way up to the stage. Councilor Callison. They're coming.